This week on the Sequoyah Scribe Newscast, I explore a 7th grade pre-AP science project.
Also in this episode, Kaylin and Gabriel take a look at the oral spelling bee that recently took place at Sevier Middle.
And in our sports segment, Fatima and Kristen talked to Coty Sensabaugh during his recent visit. All this and more coming up on the Sequoyah Scribe Newscast. Good morning, Sevier Middle. My name is Gowri.
And I am Fatima. Welcome to this week's episode of the Sequoyah Scribe Newscast.
7th grade pre-AP science students took part in a hands-on science project. They had to invent and use their own simple machines. I have the story. For most students, science class consists of notes, lectures, and tests. But 7th grade students in pre-AP science classes got to design, build, and use their own simple machines.
So I built a catapult that is supposed to make it easier to transport any items that will fit into it to somebody else.
For my machine, I built a machine that dips an Oreo cookie into milk, and I used a pulley, an inclined plane, and a wheel and axle.
I built a machine that will launch a tennis ball for use. That way you can kind of play with your dog. And I built it out of wood and some pipes. And I used a pulley, inclined plane, and a lever.
I built a machine that was called the TV Terminator. It was a compound machine made up of 3 simple machines. It had a lever and 2 inclined planes, and I put it a golf ball, and it hit a target, and the target fell in the hole so the lever could lift up, and then it was able to roll down 2 inclined planes to hit the TV remote to turn it on.
While Carol Long, a pre-AP science teacher, was proud of all the designs, she had one in particular she liked the most.
All of the students came up with really good machines. One of the most interesting ones that I enjoyed was Jackson. He made a light switch, a thing that would turn on and turn off his lights when he was in bed.
Long hopes the students gain something from the experience.
How much we depend on simple machines, and if you actually get to build something or use it, then it kind of sticks in your memory a little better. You've experienced it firsthand.
Students learned many things from building the machines.
I learned about simple machines and the engineering design process because you have to build your own machine.
I've learned that you have to repeat your steps many times and that you have to redo everything if you just barely mess up, because just a little touch can help it.
Reporting for SSN, this has been Gowri.
In other news, Dobbins Bennett Sr. and former Sevier Middle School student Harrison Eyrig scored a 33 out of a possible 36 on the ACT. He has a weighted average of 4.3, making him in the top 10% of the graduating class of 2016. Eyrig has earned a full scholarship to Johns Hopkins University when he plans to major in neuroscience.
Scott Pierce was just named the new Kingsport City Schools Director of Technology. Pierce is replacing the recently retired John Payne. Pierce will start working officially on February 29, 2016.
Kelly Ferguson, a counselor at John Sevier Middle School, has been featured in the Tennessee Department of Education School Counselor Spotlight. Ferguson is responsible for starting the Red Boot Coalition and Lunch Bunch Fridays. As a result of her work, reports of bullying have highly decreased.
In January, the oral spelling bee took place. The winner was 6th grader Connor. Kaylin and Gabriel filed this report.
The spelling bee happens every year, but every year only one person can win. Out of the people that enter, most were confident on making it to the second round.
I was not confident. I would say that I was hopeful that I would make it.
I was worried because I'm a 6th grader going up against 7th and 8th graders that have had more exposure to these words. But I have won in elementary school twice, so it's kind of half and half there.
Well, there were a bunch of 7th and 8th graders, so I wasn't really sure.
Although many were confident on making it to the second round, a few were nervous about performing on the stage.
Very nervous. Yeah, I was pretty nervous.
Yeah? even though there were like 10 people.
While they were nervous, all competitors felt that the spelling bee would be a good experience for later in life.
I think it's a great experience. It's nice for them to practice spelling words and to learn the new vocabulary, but it's also a good confidence booster getting up on stage and being in front of an audience.
Yes, because it teaches you new words and how to spell some things you may not know, and it can improve your vocabulary so that way you have some more word choices to use.
I think it is, and also the stuff that helps you study for the spelling bee. I mean, there are a lot of words that I've never even heard before I even started studying for the spelling bee.
I do think it's an important skill. I don't think everybody is a naturally good speller, and there are ways to compensate for that. You can use spell check, you can have someone proofread your paper, you can take your time, and of course the more you read, the better at spelling you'll become.
Many students felt confidence, but out of them, only 2 won.
I feel good. I mean, I did the best I could.
I feel like I could have done better, especially after making a careless mistake.
I think I did good even though I made a careless mistake.
The 6th grade student Connor won the spelling bee this year, and 8th grader Kathleen was runner-up.
Well, the 2 winners, really, the runner-up, it's a great honor that they came in second, but there's not another step for them to go to. The winner of the spelling bee, Connor, will go to the regional spelling bee, which is in Knoxville, Tennessee, in March.
Reporting for SSN, this has been Gabriel and Kaylin.
Last week, Kingsport observed a lot of rain. Will this week see any snow? Elizabeth is in the Weather Center to find out.
Last week, temperatures rose, but will this week see any snow? Good morning. My name is Elizabeth. Monday will start with a mix of clouds and the sun in the morning, but the night will be seeing occasional snow showers. The high will be 44 degrees and the low 27 degrees. On Tuesday, there will be a 50% chance for snow. The high will be around 35 degrees and the low will be around 21 degrees. On Wednesday, there will be scattered snow showers. The high will be 34 degrees and the low will be 17 degrees. On Thursday, there will be mostly sunny skies with a high around 42 degrees and a low around 25 degrees. Friday will end the week with a few clouds and the high being 46 degrees and the low will be 23 degrees. That's it for this week's weather report. Now let's go back to the newscast studio.
The basketball postseason has come to a close. How did they do in the state sectional tournament? Ian is standing in the sports center with the sport news.
The basketball season is starting to wind down. Good morning, Sevier Middle. My name is Ian. The varsity boys basketball team advanced in state sectional tournament last Saturday with a 42-24 win over Chilhowie. Keo Taylor had 18 points and Abaya Relford 15 to lead the Warriors. Then the basketball team lost a match in the state sectional game 49-41 to Mayville. The Lady Warriors lost in the first round of state sectionals 36-21 to Rhea County. Recently, Coty Sensabaugh, an NFL player who attended John Sevier, visited John Sevier Middle School. Fatima and Christian Fathers report.
NFL player Coty Sensabaugh's speech made students jump out of their seats to share their dreams.
Because without a dream, you can't achieve nothing in this world. So one more time, who in here has a dream? Hold on.
Why would Sensabaugh come to Sevier?
I decided to speak to Sevier students today because this is where I graduated middle school from, and this is my first time coming back, and I just want to be hands-on with the kids and to try to make a difference in their lives.
Sensabaugh came to give a message to the students of John Sevier.
My message to Sevier students would be to believe in yourself and to chase your dreams, and with hard work and dedication, you can be anything you want to in this world.
The students got to ask Sensabaugh their questions. Most teachers thought that the time spent in the gym listening to Sensabaugh was a time well spent.
Well, I think that any time that we can teach some of the things that are outside of the actual curriculum of, the 4 major subjects and related arts, we can teach things like responsibility and growth and how to achieve your goals. And I think that that's a really good use of class time. We try to incorporate that every day into class, and having somebody to be a really good example for all of the students and showing them how they can succeed and giving them a path and somebody who can be an active role model for a lot of the students here. I think that was a great use of class time.
Yes, I absolutely think Coty coming was a great opportunity for all the students, and the teachers were actually given the option if we wanted to take our classes to it, and I'm pretty sure almost every teacher in the building chose to go down there and have their students listen to what he had to say. And I think it was very motivating and encouraging, and I think what he had to say was also very inspiring, and I'm glad that we got that opportunity.
Not all students had the chance to see him speak.
Coty Sensabaugh. I was kind of frustrated because I've never met. I've seen him. I think he plays for the Titans, but I've never seen him in person. So I could have seen him, but I wasn't allowed.
Students and teachers alike were inspired by Sensabaugh to follow their dreams.
I definitely enjoyed the speech. I thought it was very inspiring, and I thought his steps that he said to take to reach your dreams were right on target. And I think that it applied to students as well as the adults in the room, and I found it just very inspiring. It made me reflect on what my dreams are even as an adult and the different things I still want to achieve in my life too.
Yes, I think his speech motivated me to achieve my dreams of becoming a musician.
Sensabaugh fondly remembers his childhood at Sevier.
As a middle school student, I was very hardworking. I did well in school, and I tried to do well in athletics. And sometimes I'm sure I was a little hot-headed or hard-headed, but I worked on that. But that's what I was like as a middle school student.
Marty Moore also fondly remembers teaching and coaching Sensabaugh.
I knew Coty when he was small, in that I saw him play games in different sports, and he's always been a good kid. He's always been really hardworking and wanted to win. His 8th grade year, we had a situation where he and another player were very mad at one another because of a loss during the season, and that just kind of shows the competitive drive that he has.
How has Sensabaugh changed over the years?
He has grown some, obviously, to be a NFL player now, but he still is not nearly as big as you might think for an NFL player. But he always worked hard. He was a hard worker when he was playing basketball and football here at Sevier, and still has to do that to succeed where he's at now.
Moore knew early on that Sensabaugh would succeed.
I would have said Coty might have gone more of the basketball route. Like he said when he was here at Sevier the other day, he mentioned basketball as his favorite sport. He played football, but I think was a better basketball player at that time. He was actually the MVP of the state sectional tournament when we won it at Sevier in 2003. So I'm not shocked he's where he's at. I'm shocked it's in the sport he's in.
Sensabaugh has much advice for students.
Work and dedication and listening to your elders, because they've done most of the things that you're trying to do. So I would definitely say listening to your elders.
Moore has advice for students to achieve their dreams like Sensabaugh.
Well, we obviously use him as an example, and Daniel Kilgore that went through Sevier that now plays in the NFL. So tell them that they've got to work hard. And Coty mentioned that when he talked to the kids at Sevier, that you've got to do your work, and school comes first. And student athletes are called that because they're a student first, then an athlete. And he did what he needed to do in school, worked hard outside of school before he ever played the sport. So you've just got to work hard in everything you do.
Sensabaugh gives back to his community by teaching rising athletes what it means to play a sport.
I decided to host my camp at DB because no one before me had done it, and I just seen the opportunity to give back to the community and the kids, and just to make a difference in their lives. And hopefully they'll learn how to treat others and be respectful, and learn a little bit about football while being at my camp.
Sensabaugh is very grateful for his career.
Football means a lot to me. It's what I do, but it's not who I am. But right now I'm blessed enough to have this job, so it means a lot to me.
This has been Kristen and Fathima reporting for SSN.
That's it for this week's Sports Report. Now let's go back to the newscast studio.
Spelling is a very important skill for middle school students. Are the students of John Sevier Middle School good spellers? Andrea hit the halls to find out.
SSN hit the halls to find what students think about John Sevier spellers.
Some are because they actually try, and then others aren't because they don't try.
Because when students are when they're not paying attention and they don't pay attention to the words that people are spelling, and yeah.
No, because, they like text and they like abbreviate words a lot.
I guess it just depends on how they were taught and their vocabulary.
It depends on whether or not they're really good with words
or they just know the definition of what the teacher asked them?
Well, I think they are, because like at Jackson, some of the students were like really good, and I know Logan, he got second place at Jackson, and he comes here, and I think he's a better speller than me.
The majority of them are probably not, because we abbreviate stuff all the time when we text.
It depends on the student. Some are and some aren't.
If you want to tell us your opinion, tweet us at #SSNHitTheHalls, and your comment could end up on the air. Now let's go back to the newscast studio.
That's it for this week's episode of the Sequoyah Scribe Newscast.
When we return, Elizabeth and Ian take a look at the first ever GOB.
Joshua takes a look at a new phenomenon, co-teachers.
And in sports, Logan and Allison went to the track interest meeting.
I'm Gowri.
And I'm Fatima. Have a great week, Sevier Middle.